Robin Williams had a reputation for being unstoppable. The guy could take a single word and riff on it for 5 minutes straight, and it wasn't just audiences who loved him. Actors who worked with him had nothing but good things to say. Robert De Niro called him one of the kindest people he'd ever met. Julia Roberts swore his energy was the only thing that got her through the nightmare that was Hook's production. Even Jeff Bridges, who thought Williams was going to be a total liability on The Fisher King, ended up having massive respect for him. But not everyone was won over. In fact, one comedian hated Robin Williams with a passion. David Brenner was a big name in stand-up during the 70s and 80s, one of those guys who ruled late-night talk shows with observational comedy. And according to him, Williams wasn't just another comedian, he was a thief. Brenner swore that Williams stole his material, to the point where he actually called up Williams' agent and flat-out threatened him. "Tell Robin if he ever takes one more line from me, I'll rip his leg off and shove it up his ass." And here's the thing. Brenner wasn't the first or the last comedian to throw that accusation at Williams. Robin's whole style was based on rapid-fire observations, bouncing off whatever was happening in the moment, and that made him an easy target. If you're constantly improvising, how do you prove where a joke came from? Williams himself never acted like he was above it. He openly admitted that when you spend hours a day watching stand-up, something's gonna stick. He once said, "If it happened, I'd apologize, I'd even pay." And he did, multiple times. If someone came to him and said, "Hey, that joke was mine," he'd straight up cut them a check. But the accusations kept coming. It got to the point where he stopped hanging out at comedy clubs altogether. He'd wait outside until it was his turn to go up, just so no one could say he was stealing their material. And even then, it didn't always help. He once told Rolling Stone that he'd make a joke about something that actually happened to him, and people would still accuse him of lifting it from someone else. Brenner never let go of that grudge. He kept working, kept doing stand-up, but his influence faded over time. He even had a bit of a comeback in the 2000s, doing stand-up in Vegas and making occasional TV appearances, but by that point he was more of an old-school comic in a world that had moved on. He passed away in 2014 from cancer. Most people today probably don't even know his name.